Hello and welcome to a BWB bonus stream. That's right, it's a Tuesday where I do something that's not model kit building. Before we get into all that, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes if you want to. And if you feel like being a lurker, it's okay to lurk. I'll manage. It'll be just fine. You can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. It is a Tuesday, as I said, and on Tuesdays I do things that don't involve model kits, or if they do, it's like digital model kits. I don't know physical model kits, no physical Lego sets. I usually play video games. Sometimes I talk about anime for over 2 hours. Most of the time it's video gaming. And tonight the plan is to talk about some Hearthstone stuff and to show off some Hearthstone decks. Recently, there has been an expansion called the Across the Timeways expansion, and I want to check that out. I've been playing it. I mean, it's my daily game, so I do want to see what's going on with the current decks that I'm checking out. I'll talk about them. I have 2 new decks, one of which I think is great, and one of which I think is bad, but still kind of fun. So I have that, which is nice. And then on the other side of things, I have a couple decks that have new cards in them that make the deck a little bit better, and one deck that has new cards in it that doesn't make it necessarily better and maybe actually makes it worse, but I wanted to put a couple new cards in. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the plan. Let me load up Hearthstone and HS Replay, which is the deck tracker that I use. HS Replay's deck tracker. So let me get that loaded up, and then we'll just we'll see what's going on in Hearthstone. Come on, takes a little while to load Hearthstone on my computer because Hearthstone is a very old video game. So occasionally it just takes a little while to start up and to do its things, to log in and do all that stuff. But once we get going, we're fine. So let's get in there. Waiting. Gonna go connect. Okay, finding a tavern. It's doing its thing now. It's making things happen. It's getting ready. And now I can go to the game feed, and there I am. There's me. I'm gonna make me a little smaller. Just a little smaller. I'm going like this so that my background isn't removed as much. All right. So let's, first I want to see, okay, I have to draw a lot more cards in traditional modes to get this done, but that's fine because come on, there it is. Yeah, I'm nowhere near done with this, but I want to get more packs, and I want to get my, I want to get this Hearthstone skin that I'll never really use because there's a shaman skin, and I have a very cool shaman skin, so I don't need that one. It's like, is that a Murloc? No, then I don't want it. Let's talk about the new decks that I have. I have 2 new decks. I'll kind of do a brief overview of them, and then we'll play them. You can see them. So I still have some decks I played a long time. I guess we'll do this. The Smoke is a classic deck for me. There's a wild deck that I really love. The idea is you want to play Swiftscale Trickster on 4 mana, which makes your next spell this turn cost 0. And then you play the 8 cost spell, Smokescreen. You draw 5 cards, you trigger any death rattles drawn. And then you win. You have the backup or the alternative win condition of Anka the Buried, which changes all your death rattles in your hand to 1/1s that cost 1, and then you can just play a bunch of death rattles. You can do that. There are 2 new cards. There are 4 new cards in this deck. 2 new cards, 4 copies of them in this deck. We have Temporal Traveler, which is a 4/1 with the death rattle. Summon a 4/1 that attacks a random enemy minion. So if your opponent trades with that or dies, whatever, if you play it off of Smokescreen, you just get a 4/1 on your board that goes to the enemy minion. It's okay. It's not great, but it's pretty okay, and it's a new card. I want to have at least a couple new cards in this deck. The other new card is Amber Warden, which I'm not going to keep in this deck. It's not good. It's a 4/12 dragon, which is In Hearthstone, a lot of dragons are 412, so it's like that's kind of cool. Amber Warden has a taunt, which is it's nice to have some taunts. You summon a random minion from the past. Turns out in Wild, that's not good. It could be anything. It could be incredible, or it could be like a 2/1 with nothing, like just like a 2/1 beast. Okay, you know what I mean? It could be a 1/1 that has a battle cry that you don't get because it's just on the board. This is a bad card. I'm just playing it because it's new. That card is also in my This Is Big Shaman deck. It's the only new card in this deck. And it's not great in this deck. I should replace it with something else. I should replace it with the 8 or the 1, whatever. There's an 8 cost taunt that I should put in this deck that I haven't. Anyway, what's this deck do? This is Big Shaman is a deck that it cheats out big minions. You can play wait, where'd you go? Ancestor's Call. You pull a minion from your hand and your opponent they have it, but your minions are bigger. You can play Muck Morpher and make a 4/4 copy of a minion from your deck. You can play Eureka and just summon a random minion from your hand. And then you just have big Death Rattle minions or big effect minions like Krog, Crater King, Amplified Elec, Yasiraj. Believe me, cheating out a cheaper Muck Morpher to make a 4/4 Yasiraj that at the end of your turn pulls a giant minion from your board on like turn 4 or even turn 5 is like ridiculous. And we have ways of pulling Muck Morpher out of our deck with Fairy Tale Forest. And then we have ways of making the Muck Morpher cheaper if we want to do that. And then also Triangulate is a great way to find Ancestor's Call and then also put more Ancestor's Calls in our deck so we can keep doing nonsense and disrupt our opponents. This is probably the best deck that I have as far as like it being pretty good. Batbore has, I have added 1 new card to Batbore. It is not a good card to be in this deck. If I'm playing a 4-cost card to draw cards, I'm losing. Batbore is Batbore is an unbelievable scam deck. It is not nice to play because you're not playing against your opponent. You're just trying to draw cards. It is a 4-card combo where you have to play Blood Bloom. You have to play Elwyn Boar, play Blood Bloom, play Bat Mask for 8 health. So you have to have over 8 health. Then you have a board full of your boars. Then you kill your board with Plague of Flame. So you need 6 mana for this combo. And then by killing 7 Elwyn Boars, you get a 15/3 weapon. And when you swing that weapon, your opponent has 1 mana the next turn. They go from whatever mana they had to 1. And so it's this deck is it, and you have cards to draw. Your Plague of Flames. The only card that's hard to tutor to get is Bat Mask. You have to get lucky, but you have Cursed Catacombs to try to find it. You have Fracking to try to find it. Rock Bottom to try to find it. This deck is the shits. Good old South Park deck, indeed. Spydak. It is a South Park deck. Just Aviana is a standard deck, and you're saying to yourself, Pat, you play Wild. Why are you playing a standard deck? Well, it's because the thing that this Aviana does, this version of Aviana, is bad and Wild. This Aviana, Sky Mother Aviana, your battle cry, shuffle 10 random legendary minions into your deck. They cost 1. In Wild, there are too many legendaries because it's all legendaries that are not banned from the beginning of the game. In Standard, there are less. So hopefully you're going to have less bad ones to draw. Now, we have some cards to cheat that to cheat mana, so we can play this earlier. We have some cards to find it in our deck, the best of which is Story of Barnabas, because it draws it. And because the only minion in our deck is a 5-cost 5/5, it means that we draw a minion, we get 5 health, and or give it 5 health, and we get 5 armor. But we're looking for that. We're looking for Innervate. It has the new card from this expansion, Wave Shaping, which discovers a card from your deck, puts the others get put on the bottom, which is good. That's good to have. Trail Mix, New Heights, a little bit of control, some late game draw, or if you can't find Aviana, you can play this even though you're only going to draw 1 minion, which is a shame, but it's fine to do there. I really like this deck. Oh, also you get Magical Dollhouse, which gives you +1 damage, which either works well with Wrath or Swipe, or you can play it with Bottomless Toy Chest, which when you have spell damage, you get 2 copies of a card in your deck, which if you end up with the right weird legendary, you can get 2 of them. That's pretty great. This deck is pretty fun to play. It gets really wacky. And now we get into our new decks. These are brand new. These are not decks with new cards, which all those 4 were. Embrace this. This deck is a scam deck. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to play Switcheroo. Switcheroo used to cost less than 5, but people started doing dickish things with it, so now it costs more. Switcheroo, you draw 2 minions and you swap their health. So we only have 2 minions in our deck. We have an Ultra Gigasaur, which is an 11 cost, 1428. And then we have Amber Priestess, which is a 2-cost minion, Taunt, restore health to a character equal to this minion's health. So, what we want to do is use Switcheroo, so our Amber Priestess has 28 health. Then, before we play that card, we play Embrace the Shadows, which means that healing does damage instead. So we play Embrace the Shadows, Amber Priestess to our opponent's face, doing 28 damage to them, and then we can either heal them with our hero power for 2, or if we have other minions, if we have Flash Heal or Desperate Prayer, we can go over the top. Now, if our opponent has 40 health or a bunch of armor, then we need a bunch of cards, and we probably need we can use Shard of the Naru to get through a taunt, if we need to do that, or to silence our opponent's minions. Thrive in the Shadows and Shadow Visions is good for finding the cards we need. Also, Injury and Fate. Love Everlasting can just make cards cost less. Palm Reading can make your whole cards go less, and discover a card we might not have. I have gotten Embrace the Shadows off of this, which is great. So Spyduck asks, is Inner Fire a viable backup for this strat? That way you'd have a 28-28 Priestess. So, in my opinion, you wouldn't want that unless you could also give it charge, because there's a lot of single removal in the game, right? There's a lot of silences, and I mean, look, doing 28 damage to your opponent's face with that card is great. You hopefully wouldn't need a follow-up like Inner Fire, unless you could also, give it charge, you know what I mean? In that case, it would probably be better to do Inner Fire with Ultra Gigasaur and Hogger, no, not Hogger, the boar, the 1-cost boar that goes face. Boar, not the Elwyn boar, Stone Tusk boar. Stone Tusk boar swapped with Ultra Gigasaur and then buffed in some other way probably would be a better way to do that than this deck. You know what I mean? You really just want spells that either find cards in your deck or that heal so that you can combine them with Embrace the Shadows. But a Stone Tusk Boar, Switcheroo, Ultra Gigasaur isn't the worst idea. Because that way you're already going to have 28 health. Swap it with... There are multiple cards that do Inner Fire style things. So, and just for reference, Inner Fire is... Inner Fire, you change a minion's attack to be equal to its health. And there are other ones. There's a swap one. What is that one? Set every minion's attack and health to the lowest. That's not that one. Topsy-turvy. You swap a minion's attack and health. So, like, that could work with that. Sorry. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is just an email I don't need to look at. And then the other deck I want to talk about before we get into some games is, hey, turns out they shouldn't have made this card. This card, Timewinder Zarimi, should probably just get banned for good. Because every once in a while, they make a card that makes this card way better. Timewinder Zarimi is once per game, if you played 8 other dragons, take an extra turn. Now, originally, this card was like 5 dragons, and that was too few amount of dragons. So they made it 8. And this card went out of favor for a while because what you ended up needing to do is build a big enough dragon board that you can play this, and then with one more turn, do enough damage to your opponent to kill them. The thing is, they added a couple cards in this expansion that make this card really good. And those cards are Murazond Unbounded, Battle Cry. At the start of your next turn, set this minion's attack to infinity. And it literally is the infinity symbol. So you play Zarimi and Murazond on the same turn, and the next turn you win. Because you've played Soradormi, which is another new card. It's dormant for 2 turns. When this card awakens, reduce the cost of all dragons in your hand by 4. So you play this 5 cost, and 2 turns later, you have this card cost 1, and this card cost 5. And then for 6 mana, you win. Because you've played enough dragons, and you also have a 8/8 on that turn, and you have a 4/6 on that turn to clear away taunts from your opponent. And also, there's 1 Shard of the Naru, just for safety's sake. There are a bunch of cheap dragons in this deck, annoying cheap dragons. And there's also an incredibly important card, which I have to find here to talk about. Scale Replica draws your lowest and higher cost dragon. So what you'd like to do is play both scaled replicas and play a Shadow Visions to draw 1 scale replica so you can draw your most expensive cards, which are all 5 cost cards. This deck is, honestly, pretty fucking good. On occasion, I have been unable. There was one time where I drew both of my scale replicas before I had drawn a Shadow Visions. And I just could not get Soradormi. Because even if I could get Soradormi to discounting on one of these cards, then I could draw the other one eventually. There's always enough dragons, especially if you use Amalgam of the Deep to draw another dragon. And you can make your dragons annoying and your opponent feels like they have to kill those dragons. Also, there's tight-lipped witnesses in this deck because there are a couple counters for this. One is your opponent makes you play one of your expensive cards, a Battle Cry, and you're done with it. You don't get it anymore. That sucks. The real honest thing is secrets. Secrets can ruin this deck. So that's why I have 1 card in here that is not a dragon or a draw for a dragon, and that is Tight-Lipped Witness, where secrets can't be revealed. So if your opponent has a bunch of secrets, they don't work. unless the secrets counter this card from being played, and those secrets do exist, and this does not negate those, which sucks. I think it should. I understand why it doesn't. But if they have counter, the card that counters the next minion your opponent's going to play, and you play this, the secret goes off. And I think that sucks, but I understand why. Anyway, we're going to start with what I think is the best deck, and then we'll go into the one that I don't think is as good. Because I don't think Embrace This is actually that good. Because the problem with Embrace This is that if you draw one of your minions, you just lose. Switcheroo, if you can't play Switcheroo and you draw one of your minions, the game is over. So it's not as good. Whereas Sora Dormy, you want to draw all the cards in your deck. There's no card you don't want to, there's no dragon you don't want to draw. So, but yeah, this deck, the only downside of this deck, like I said, is one card. You really need one card, and you just can't find it. All right. So, we don't have any of the top hand that we want. We don't have any scale replicas. We don't have any shadow visions. We're not going to do a hard mulligan because I do want to play a card on turn 1 because we do need to play 8 dragons. So, we're still going to play this on turn 1. We might play this on turn 2 with this. Well, we might want to... okay. So on turn 2, I'm going to play these 2 cards together because that's just really good. But now we can... you can look at the top of our card, look at the top card, and we can put that to the bottom if it's a card we don't want. We're playing against Libram, so we don't have a lot of time, but we do have some time. We're going to keep Shadow Visions. I'm not going to play it right now, but we have it. We'll play this. We have now played 2 out of the 8 dragons we need to play for Timewinder. For Timewinder, playing Timewinder does not count as a dragon, but playing Unbounded does count as a dragon. So we really only need to play 7 before we play our combo. All right. Our opponent is going to be able to scale up attack pretty fast here. Since they are playing, they're reducing the cost of their Librams, but we can make it an annoying board that they're going to want to have to deal with. Oh, okay. What are you coining? What are you coining? Okay, you're drawing and one attack. Okay, you're getting more minions. Okay, okay. We can play these 2 together. Let's do that. Let's play those 2 together. Let's first Shadow Visions. We got a copy of Scale Replica. We can play that next turn. Maybe with Peddler, which is now a big friend. And then I don't know. We don't have to worry about damage to their face because we're going to do infinite damage to them, but we might as well swing. No swinging would look weird. So, at the very least, we can play these 2 together. I'm hoping that we find another one of these soon. I would take a no minion turn and play both of these if I could. I don't want to play that. New card. Shadow Vision's great. Okay. Let's play this to guarantee. All right, we got one of the 3 cards that we need. And let's play this and get the other Scale Replica. Great. There are now 3 scale. We now have a Scale Replica, and there are 2 more in our deck. And then we are going to trade to encourage them to trade. We still have to play more dragons. I think we have only played 3 dragons. I think we've only played 3 dragons, so we got to play more dragons, which we can draw and then play some. Oof. Our opponent is going to yes, they're going to have very cheap Librams. They're doing the thing their deck is supposed to be doing. But we're doing the thing our deck is supposed to be doing. So, good on us. I don't want to play that. We can put that to the bottom because we might draw it anyway. Duskbreaker Ooh, should we play Duskbreaker and clear their board? Yeah, let's do that. We're going to play Duskbreaker, clear their board, play Mistake. Now, on this turn, I would have loved to play Sword Dami, which we don't have. We don't have the card that I would love to have. Now our opponent has a big fucking minion, and that's bad for us, obviously. Our opponent is just going to have a completely, unbelievably high-scaled minion here that we can only silence one time if we get Shard of Naru. So we are now racing the clock here. Gonna have to go with a different card. That's not what we want. Okay. We have Timewinder, and we have Murzond Unbound, but Timewinder, okay, we still need to play 3 more. Yeah, we're not doing great here. We are probably losing to our opponent, who was very collected about waiting to start playing their Librams, and now can just make an incredibly powerful Libram that we have. Yeah. Like, we lose next turn unless we have Shard of Naru. We just lose next turn. Death by book, indeed. So, our draw was pretty good. I think if we had gotten Swordormi down, that would have helped. But, like, right now we're kind of delaying the inevitable. We have to silence this. So we have to hit different card here. We did get it. Okay, so that's good. We will silence all of this, so that's good. So we got to play that. We unfortunately don't have Swordormi to play here, which would have been rad. And we have no way of drawing it. So we can now play this and get an extra turn and play this after that, which isn't going to help us. We still also need to kill a bunch of stuff on their board. So we'll do this, and this, and this, and this. Because we have to. We can play this and get an extra turn, but, yeah, our opponent is, yeah, it just has, we're going to lose. We're playing a losing game here, because we don't have another Shard of Naru, so all we can do is trade. Why am I getting so many? Just getting a lot of emails here during the stream, which is fine. Okay, I mean, come on. What are we doing here? We have 1 health left. So I mean, we'll just do, yeah, these are all expensive. That's okay. We'll just do this. We don't have enough damage this way. But we're gonna do this thing because I want to show you that. We'll do that. We're gonna play this anyway, just because it's fucking fun. We got fucking close. We got close. Yeah. The fact that our opponent hit us for 12 on 1 turn and we had no way to counter that just kind of really, yeah, hurt us. There was no way around it. We'll run this deck back. But yeah, there was just no way for me to counter that at all. Yes, as Spydeck said earlier, death by book was really what it was. There's just no way for me to counter that, no matter what I was going to do. Just wasn't going to be able to do that, which is okay. It happens. Their deck did what their deck is supposed to do, so like I can't be mad at that. Okay. We have so many 1 drops, but we are going to hard mulligan because we need some top deck. We need, yes, okay, 2 expensive cards. At the very least, we have Soradormi, so we can play that. And hopefully by the time we play Soradormi, we will have gotten Zurimi. Because once they get discounted, or even if this gets discounted, okay, they have to survive. That's fine. Okay. Our opponent is going to have a lot of armor, which is actually awesome for us because we do not care about armor. We're going to make that bigger. That's a 9/9 now. That's fun. We don't care about armor because this card does infinite damage. So this is awesome for us. They're going to try to stall us out, which is excellent. We want them to stall us out. All right, we're going to pull a scale. We only have 2 scales, but we only need 1 card, so it doesn't matter because all we need now is Zurimi, and we need to play more dragons. That's the thing we're waiting on, is just playing dragons. So we'll play this, and then we'll play, yeah, because we have to play 7 dragons. Now we have to play 6 dragons. Next turn we can coin Soradormi if we want, which counts as a dragon. We could just do that because we have the coin. If our opponent isn't going to be doing too much, okay, yeah, all right. Okay, well that's not good. This is a counter to our deck. This is a counter, so we'll do that. We do need to break this thing. So instead of coining that, we are going to just do this. Do some damage. I don't care about the armor. We now need to hit our opponent 2 more times to get rid of this thing because this eats damage. And I think it will eat infinite damage. So that needs to go. Again, I don't care about them armoring up. I love them spending their mana on armor. That's awesome for us. All right, we're going to play this. We're going to save our coin. All right, 1 more attack and that thing's gone, which can be one of our other cards. We still need to just play dragons. We have some dragons to play. Poisonous, that's not great, but we can. If we wanted to, we could silence that poisonous card. I actually don't care about it. I only really want to silence taunts. I don't care about that. Okay, well that's annoying. Because now I don't have to wait to swing, so that's annoying, but whatever. Let's just make some dragons. There's a dragon there. We'll play this. Let's see here. Ooh, we got another one. That's fun. A backup. We'll take the backup. I don't think I'll play this, but we'll take a backup in case something happens and they stop this from doing its job. I don't know. All right. That's good. Okay, so now we can play Murozond first, and then we can follow Murozond with Zurimi because this is a dragon, so it'll count for that. So we just have to play this one first. We have enough mana. We have enough mana to also silence enemy minions if they played like 4 taunts. And then one of these cards, one of these minions can get rid of the 1/1 or that on this turn. And so we win. Yeah, we just win, which is cool. So we do that. We do this. Then we play this first. Then we play this, which gives us an extra turn. You can see that there. It went to extra turn. And then we press extra turn. And this now has infinite attack. And it does infinite damage. That's what this deck is supposed to do. We had a great I shouldn't say great. We had an ideal opponent in that game because our opponent was trying to stall for time because after 10 turns, their deck was going to do a bunch of wild, weird shit. which is awesome because it meant that they were focusing on armor, which we don't care about. And they weren't even focusing on taunts. I've seen versions of the deck with taunts, and that would have been maybe annoying, although we did have the shard. So that's what this deck is supposed to do, and it did what it was supposed to do, which is yeah, draw stuff, have dragons, attack for infinite damage. I love it. I love this deck so much. Let's move on to a. You know what? Let's go to standard. Let's go to play a standard game of just Aviana. We'll just do a little brief, like 1 or 2 games with each deck of the newer decks. But I will show Embrace this. It's just, I know I'm going to lose with it. And right now, you know, well, maybe we'll get a couple wins. Aviana, I will say this, folks. It's not like this deck wins all the time. Sometimes, even in standard, the legendaries you're pulling are very bad. All right. Spydak just subscribed with Prime. That's 11 months. Thank you so much, Spydak. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the subscription. None of this is stuff we want, so we get rid of all this. I wouldn't mind Innervate, but it's not the card that we need. So thank you very much, Spydak. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank you very much. Okay, we did get brochure, which we can play if we need it. Our opponent is playing the standard version of this deck, which is fine. Okay, we drew that. Again, they really want us to have Innervate. I guess we can play this eventually if we have to and just draw 1 minion, but I don't want that. Okay, so this is the version of the deck that has taunt minions. That's fine. Oh, we have that. Do we want to... Let's see if we can discover... None of these are good. We'll take Wrath, I guess, because you can do 1 damage and draw. Next turn, we might have to coin Ungoro Brochure just to get Aviana. Okay, they're getting more mana. That's not great. Story of Barnabas. This is the card we want. So next turn, we can play this by using our coin. Then we keep Innervate. And we also got some armor, which is great. So good. That Story of Barnabas really makes this deck work. Okay, our opponent has not played any minions, but they have drawn... Okay. We have to concede. So I'm going to try not to get salty. I'm going to try not to get salty there. What just happened is our opponent played Dirty Rat, which is a 2-cost, 2/6 taunt that pulls a minion from your opponent's hand and puts it in play. Our deck only has 1 minion. Our deck doesn't have an alternate win condition. We play that 1 minion, we get a bunch of other minions that hopefully will do wild things, and then we win. If our opponent plays a card that disrupts our deck so we can't play the 1 card we need to play in our deck, that the deck is built around, then there's no point in sticking around in that game. I just concede. Because, like I said, this deck does not have an alternate win condition. Now, if I'm losing, once I've played Aviana, I'll stick around and see if we can pull something off. But I'm not going to sit there and just... Like, I don't have any cards in my deck that pull a minion from the field back into my hand. My opponent would have to do that, and I don't know why they would. So, yeah. So I am salty that my opponent in 2025 is playing fucking Dirty Rat in Standard. They're playing a stall warrior deck with Dirty Rat, and I am fucking salty about that shit. We got Story of Barnabas. We'll play Living Roots on turn 1. We'll get rid of Horned Penalty. We'll keep Swipe. Our opponent is playing Death Knight, so we do want to have a board presence early on. I am, as you can tell, got to start with that quest. Yeah. I am fucking annoyed that they had it for a while and they didn't play it until I played a card to put a minion in my hand. So they were waiting to play that. They didn't want to take a risk with it. And that makes me mad. All right. My opponent did not... Yeah, okay, they didn't do anything on turn 1. All right. This might be a zoo deck where they have a bunch of stuff on the board. I don't know what they're doing. All we can do is just play our hand. So on turn 4, I can coin Aviana if I don't have something else soon that lets me do that. We're just going to kind of control the board here. We can, with 3 mana, play Swipe if our opponent makes a big, weak board. Okay. Oh, that's a boom. Okay. All right, they're doing that thing. All right. This is kind of a waste. Let's just get more mana. Because our opponent isn't really doing much to us. And now next turn we can play this and we can save our coin, which is fun. All right, they're drawing something for the deck. This card is if I could have more than 1 minion in my deck, I would have Xavius to try to draw this because it's a really good card. All right, let's play this. Check out my cool thing here. 5 cards go in, 5 more cards go in. My deck now has 31 cards. We can use this combo to discover a card from our deck and get 2 copies of it. We can do this to just draw anything from our deck, which might draw another one of our draws or one of our cards here. We could even top deck one of our cool shit. Okay, that's annoying. This is an annoying card to be in there. Okay. Let's do this and this. Taunt, split beetles, reform any remaining. Dormant. Yeah, all right, we'll do 2 dormants. This is not really what I wanted, but we are going to make this dormant. I don't want to deal with that thing for a while. And then we'll coin and play wave. And, oop, there we go. I would love to have 2 copies of this, but I will take fucking 1 copy of this. No problem. We got Tyrion for 1. This card is an 8/8 taunt with Divine Shield. When it dies, you get a 5/3 weapon. Alright. Our opponent's fucking doing stuff, but we're going to put... Ooh, we can do this, get some health here. Alright, Spell Burst. Alright. See what you got here. I was supposed to play a spell before I played this. I fucked up. So that's on me. I really did fuck that up. Also, that's a 6/5. I hate seeing that. We'll just get rid of that. Yeah. I was supposed to play the spell before I played this. I goofed. I goofed, y'all. There's no way around it. Not that I particularly care about the spell burst thing, but whatever. I should have. Alright. I do have this, so I can put this to sleep again and just kind of delay the inevitable. My opponent is just fucking playing cards here, huh? Just playing a bunch of fucking cards. Just doing a bunch of shit. But we can put this to sleep, and I think we should. After you cast a spell, summon a random Annie companion. Fuck yeah. Alright, let's put this to sleep. I don't want to deal with that for a little while. We got 4/4, that's cool. Let's draw a card. We got Innervate, that's kind of cool. We'll do that. Play Innervate here. That's cool. We'll kill this. I could have used this to make it even more damage, but that's alright. We'll kill that. And then we'll will hit you for 10 or for 16. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good turn. We don't have any cards in our hand, but we have a really good chance of top decking a legendary, or if this lives. Okay, draw. Okay. More boons here. All right. But it doesn't have taunt though. But it does have rush. But it doesn't have taunt. Okay. So they did heal up. All right. Let's get a random. We probably should have used this, and I didn't. Well, that's not the best, but it's something. So we'll play it. And then we'll just hit you in the face for a bunch of damage. Because we got the other Leok. And we win! So we got to see what this deck is supposed to do. We had that one turn. Now, honestly, it's because we got a legendary that just gave us a bunch of animal companions. Like, that's why we won. We won because of 1 out of the 10 cards that I put in my deck randomly turned out to be really great, especially when it only cost 1 mana and we have so many spells. If that card was, you know, like that card is pretty good for like some amount of mana. It's very good for 1 mana, turns out. Turns out some legendaries, when it only cost 1 mana, are really good. All right, we'll switch over to Wild. Let's play Embrace This. Play a couple games. Just, you know, we're doing like 2 games of each deck for a little while, and then we'll eventually we'll probably play one that I like the best, you know. Just giving you an overview. Okay, so we need Embrace the Shadows. We could do this to discover Switcheroo, so we'll keep that. And we want Sphere of Sapience. Now remember, this deck falls apart if we draw one of our 2 minions, or both of our minions. So we don't want to go too wild with things. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So we discover spell. Okay, so we're going to play Sphere, because if we draw one of our 2 minions, we can set it at the bottom of the deck. We are hoping that one of our Thrives finds Switcheroo, so we can play Switcheroo. Okay, we don't really need that, but I'm worried about drawing that, so we'll just do it. We can always just give our opponent's minion 1 health. So let's see if we can find Switcheroo. We have Embrace, Illuminate. We'll take Illuminate. Dredge. Dredge looks at the bottom 3 cards in your deck, and you pick one of them to go to the top of your deck. And if it's a spell, in this case, for Illuminate, it will reduce its cost. So, unfortunately, Ultra Gigasaur, we want to keep at the bottom. We'll play we're going to pick Illuminate, even though it costs 0. So this is great, actually pretty good for us, because it means that Ultra Gigasaur is at the bottom of our deck. Now, did I want to find Switcheroo and have its cost be go from 5 to 2? Yes. We're going to pick Illuminate because we can just try this again. And we are hoping now that... Okay, we're going to take Shadow Visions. That means next turn, we get a cheap Shadow Visions. Let's also play Thrive here. This is not what we want. We can do extra damage. We'll take a Desperate Prayer. We didn't want that. We're going to play this so that we get the free Shadow Visions. We're going to play the free Shadow Visions. Well, I can't... Okay, we're going to play Intervened Fate next turn, I guess. So, our deck just does not want us to find Switcheroo right now. Okay, so they have minions. They're forging their minions. Okay. I'm not sure what they're... Okay, this is Automaton. All right. So now we are racing the clock. But we're not going to kill that Automaton, so that's okay. Oh, boy. All right, let's...
Good day to you.
Okay. Okay, Hysteria does not help us at all. We're gonna... They're taunting us, which is great for them. None of this is good. And great, we're gonna take your Thrive, and I'm gonna coin your Thrive out. Excellent. Why can we not find Switcheroo? We cannot find Switcheroo. We cannot find Switcheroo. We're gonna take a Love Everlasting. So this is starting to be a problem because we can't find Switcheroos. We can't, no matter what we do, we just cannot find it. Eventually we have to, so yeah, that's right. I don't think that Shard will make these silence, will actually work on this. It will silence that part. All right, we have to do a new card. Okay, we didn't need that. We're gonna play this. We're gonna give this health. We found Switcheroo, everybody. We fucking found Switcheroo. Thank fucking God we found Switcheroo. Okay. We found Switcheroo. And next turn, it will cost 3. Do we have enough mana? If it costs 3... I think we... if it costs 3, then we only have... Well, we don't have enough mana to win next turn. But we can set up next turn to then win. And we could heal ourselves a bit, which is good. We're going to take Gift of the Naru because we don't want to take either of our minions. We are going to play this card. So yeah, we need 4 mana to win here, or which we don't have. So we instead are going to heal up and heal up. And then, unless our opponent fucks with what we're doing, we win next turn. They could. They could play something to make our spells cost a lot more next turn. Or they could play a Dirty Rat and pull our Amber Priestess. They could play something where Battle Cries cost like 5 more. But they, like there are cards they could play that would mess with us. They're not doing anything right now. Because they saw me play... My assumption is they saw me play Switcheroo and they're like, oh, what does Switcheroo do in this in this meta? That's my guess, is they were like looking up what Switcheroo decks do. We can just pull out anything, it doesn't matter. So the first thing order is important. We play Embrace the Shadows. We do 28 damage to them, and then we follow up by hitting them in the face. And that's what this deck is supposed to do. And the fact that we won, even with our bad draws, is kind of remarkable. Ooh, got a lot. We're in gold 6 right now. Nice. So, despite I should just walk away from this with the win and go to another deck, but we're going to play one more game with this one. We'll play one more match with this particular bad deck. Again, the fact that I couldn't draw a Switcheroo, my opponent had a deck that was like more proactive, we lose. They were trying to build a big board all at once. If they had been a rush deck, a charge deck, a zoo deck, we lose. So they didn't do that, so we ended up doing all right. But okay. We don't want this in our hands. We're gonna keep Thrive because we can discover spell in our deck. All right. That's not great. I would love to draw Sphere. I mean, I would love to top deck Switcheroo, but we're not going to get that. All right, let's play Illuminate first. Let's get a cheap Switcheroo. Hell yeah. And then okay, we didn't get what I wanted. I was hoping that we could get Embrace of the Shadows. We didn't get that. We'll take a Flash Heal just to do 5 damage because it restores 5 health. Instead, it will take away 5 health. So we'll keep that in our pocket. But we're going to play Switcheroo because the sooner we can get these minions out of our deck like this, the better. All right. So now all we need is to find and Embrace the Shadows. We can play Intertwined Fate to get it. Our opponent, I imagine, is playing the dragon deck that we've played. So we are trying to. Oh, we got it. We need 2 more mana to do this. We don't have enough mana because this costs. Or we need 1 more mana. Unfortunately, we need 1 more mana. That's a real shame. Let's do this. And let's see. If we do that, then this costs 0. And then we can play this and this. All right. And so we're just going to top off our health here. We right now have enough to do 30 damage between Amber Priestess and Shadow. Okay, so our opponent is not playing that dragon deck. They're playing a different dragon deck. That's fine. We win next turn. Because they're playing a different dragon deck than the one we played. Which is good for them. I don't know what that dragon deck is, but we have to play this first. We have to play this first. We can do this, and then we can do this. I like doing it that way because I want to hit them for 28 damage and win that way. Because it's not an OTK really, because you have to play you have to use your hero power. If it did 30 damage, if there was an easy way to buff it to 30 damage in your hand, then I would probably do that because it's flashier. All right, we are 4-2 for the night, and I am moving up here. In my rankings here. So 4-2 is pretty good record. You know what? Let's edit This Is Big Shaman. What am I doing? Do I like playing a deck that has no new cards in it? No. Is Amber Warden good in this deck? No. So we're going to look for 8 cost minions. Let's see. It would fit well in this deck. Let's go to 8 cost minions. 8 to 10 cost minions. There's definitely a better Death Rattle. We could just hit Death Rattle too, but whatever. There's only so many of them in Wild. Let's do Death Rattle. And then cost 7 or more. This card is Chrono Lord. I'm going to figure out a deck to play with this that is stupid someday. I don't have it right now. But your battle cries, death rattles, and hero powers and end of turn effects trigger twice. There's some kind of nonsense deck with Chrono Lord. I'm just waiting to figure that out. Or have someone else, honestly, to have somebody else figure that out for me. This is what we want. We want Meadow Striker. Meadow Striker is an 8 cost with a death rattle. You put a Meadow Striker in the bottom of your deck, it costs 1. We want that in this deck. Because Thunderbringer can draw it. And that's good. And if we get this a 4/4 that does this, that's excellent. Because Thunderbringer can also... sometimes Thunderbringer draws the 1 cost version, but whatever. We're pulling so much from our deck, it's nice to put some stuff back into it. All right, that's better for This Is Big Shaman, which we will also play here. We did a little bit of deck doctoring. A tiny bit of deck doctoring on the stream, which feels good. Let's see. What is this? Oh, okay. The CEO of Mastodon is stepping down, everybody. I don't know. But he's staying on and is an advisor. This affects me in no ways. None of these are cards we want. I mean, look, if we also had a Muck Morpher, we would keep Gavel to make our Muck Morpher cost less, but we don't have a Muck Morpher, so there's no point in keeping Gavel. We're hard mulliganing. We're going to try to mulliganing. We got Fairy Tale Forest. We'll play that. We'll coin Eureka later. This is a good target for Eureka or... and we got... okay. So... change of plans. We are not going to play Fairy Tale Forest on 3. On 3, we're going to coin and play Ancestor's Call, because that's way better. Our opponent is trying to take a bunch of damage. That's fine. If they want to, that's cool. I'm probably going to disrupt them a bit by playing Ancestor's Call next turn. Perhaps I will help them by pulling something that will cause them to have more damage taken. Which is fine. Okay. They are taking so much damage. Alrighty. We can so on turn 4 we can play Fairy Tale. But right now, we're playing Ancestor's Call. This is great. This is awesome. This card deals 5 damage to your hero, and you gain 5 armor. And that's great for them. So I'm glad that they did not get to play that battle cry. We have disrupted our opponent's deck. All right, they have completed that quest. Part 1 of the quest. Now they have to do more things. And now they're discovering something, but they're doing it at the end of the turn. So will it get discarded, or can they play it? They can! My opponent is pretty good at doing damage, but not so good at healing themselves because they ain't got much left in the tank. Because we're doing 6 damage to them right there. We'll play this, which means that next turn we can play a Muck Morpher, and if we want to, we'll have enough mana to destroy the Muck Morpher to have its Death Rattle go off, which will be great. There are a couple cards in our deck that don't have Death Rattles. Okay, so our opponent got an 8/8, which is fine. They got 2 8/8s, which is also still fine. They have an 8/8 with Rush. That's less fine. They also did manage to heal themselves. So, okay. So our opponent, I don't want to say our opponent has scammed us, but they do have an 8/8, or they have an 8/5, and then they have an 8/8. So our opponent drew pretty well. Now they did do a lot of damage while they drew. Okay, and they're gonna heal up. Okay, so our opponent had a pretty good draw. We had a good draw. Our opponent had a pretty damn good draw. Okay, so let's see what we get. What is this? Okay, so this was the, I would describe this as the worst case scenario. Literally any other card would be better than Brute, because the only thing we can do is turn this Brute into a 5/6. That's all we can do. So that sucks for us. Because our opponent probably has a way to kill that. Maybe they don't. But they probably just found it? Okay, they didn't find it. But they might find it. Okay, yeah. Okay. They didn't clear it yet. Because my fear is that we're going to take 16 damage here. If they have to swing into this, then at least we heal some. But we might not heal any. All right. They had the rush. Okay. Yeah, so now we are going to at most heal for 5. Or yeah, 4. We heal for 5, I should say. And then we take 16 damage if our opponent actually just okay. We took a lot of damage. Now our opponent's deck is doing what it needed to do. So we could try our luck with the 4/4 Muck Morpher, but I think the better call to action is Eureka. Okay, so we got a 6/6. We draw more taunts when this dies. So we'll pull this out just so we have it in our hand. So our opponent, even if they do something, they have to silence this. But killing this will give us a bunch more taunts, which would be great for us. Now, any damage that happens to our opponent when they play a card will happen to us. So that'll be bad for us. But also, our opponent doesn't have a lot of health left, so they got to do some healing, too. Of course, they could just kill this. All right, so now any damage they take on their turn is damage to us. But we also have a bunch of taunts in the way now. So that's real good for us. We have a 7/7 that gives a 7/7. So we are just kind of stalling here. If I could get this... Yeah, and we take some damage. And they heal, which sucks for us. Yeah, okay. So they're just gonna start damaging that. Okay. So we can play this. Let's see what Muck Morpher is. All we can do here is okay. All right. We're gonna heal some. This is something. We are gonna heal. Honestly, what I really wanted was to top deck Auctioneer Gavel, because if we had top decked Auctioneer Gavel, we would have won. But we didn't top deck Auctioneer Gavel, unfortunately. We did get the other Reincarnate, which is good. Basically, our opponent needs to find cards that would damage themselves and do 9 damage to us. Okay. That at least heals us some here. And there was a 1 in 4 chance that it would have gone face. So now we take 5 damage and they get 6 health. If this one, the other copy of this one had gone face, there's a 1 in 4 chance we would have just won there, which would have been pretty great. So yeah, we lose. They had enough cards to beat us, yeah. That one was going to be really hard for us to win when they had all those 8/8s. If they didn't have all those 8/8s, then we could have been more aggressive with hitting them in the face, and then they would have had to heal more. But they just had all the cards they needed to beat us, and that's okay. That happens sometimes. Our deck did what our deck was supposed to do. Their deck did what their deck was supposed to do. It's just they did better than we did. Because we even disrupted them. We saved 5 damage and 5 armor from them happening early on. Yeah, I don't feel salty about that one. I'll tell you, friends, I'm still fucking salty about that Dirty Rat. Okay, we want Ancestor's Call. We don't want this. There's a chance our opponent does make a wide board, and then we wish we had Brute, but I don't need Brute to come in there on turn 4. There are better cards to go in there, so we're going to mulligan. Both of these are better options than Brute. Brute, again, is really nice if our opponent makes a wide board, because then we can play it for cheap, but I don't need to cheat that out. I'd rather play it a different way. Okay. Our opponent is playing this fucking deck. All right. Yeah. They're going to imbue and make some big golems. Okay. So Our disruption won't really help. We're going to have big taunts. That's going to be good. We're going to make big taunts. We'll have this just for damage control. If we top deck a Muckmorpher or a Fairy Tale Forest, this will be nice. But, yeah, we kind of want this thing to die. So, we don't need to be giving them nature spells. So next turn, we'll either get a Berserker, an Elk, or Krog, which is too early for Krog. Krog is going to be great when they have a bunch of big damn golems, and then we can make those plant golems 1/1s. That's going to be rad. Right now, this is not necessarily rad. I would have loved to have pulled that, but oh well. As you can see, yeah, okay. We did get it one of these, so 2 of these 4 cards would be phenomenal. 1 of these cards would be all right, and 1 of these cards would be like, fine. Let's see what we get. Okay, good. And good, we got one of their imbue cards. They don't get to imbue with that card. We could do damage to that. I'm fine. I'm fine with not doing that. No reason to take 4 damage here if we don't have to yet. We would heal up if we took that 4 damage because this, is going to lifesteal, but... that was maybe the second best option. I think I would have preferred to have a 6/12. But I'll take it. If they're going to keep playing minions and not trade them off, then we can play this cheap. Okay, yeah, alright. That's fine. Okay, yeah, they got a 4/4. That's fine. Yeah, okay. This fucking needs to die, and I don't have a good way of killing it right now, which sucks. I could do this and take a risk at it. I guess we'll do that. We'll play that. We'll hit this. We'll hit this. So maybe we can kill this, or we can kill that. There's 2 out of 5 options that are phenomenal for us. So we'll take whatever we can get here. Okay, that dying isn't bad. I really do need to kill this fucking 0/2 now, which was 0/4. All right, that makes this healthier. We have a lot of health, and we got some decent scale minions on our side. Our opponent is going to just start making bigger and bigger bullshit. Okay, yeah, that's a way. You can do that. Get some random nature spells. Okay, yeah. I'd really like the other Ancestor's Call, Triangulate, Eureka. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. Okay. All right. Why did you do that? That's weird. That was weird. I mean, you had the 3, I guess. All right. This doesn't help us immediately, but it does mean that next turn we can play Muckmorpher. And we can finally kill that thing. Finally, we killed that. All right. I don't think we're in great shape here, but we're in good enough shape. I'd really like to find Triangulate, Ancestor's Call, or Eureka. Those are the things I would like to find here. Okay. Okay, they're healed up. They're discovering some stuff. This is not an imbue card. This is a card that likes imbue. But now they have 7/7s. Boy, okay, that's next turn. Okay, what could this be that would be helpful? This could be Thunderbringer. This could be Yashiraj. This could be Scrapyard Colossus, Elk, the other Berserker, Brute, Glug. Ooh, Glug would be pretty good. All right, let's see what it is. What are you? You can't be the other Muckmorpher. Okay, you're Colossus. That's fine. You're a 4/4 that then has a 7/7 show up. I'll take it. What does this do? After you summon an elemental... fuck you. I'm going to do 3. I'm going to hit you for 3. Maybe this will bite me in the ass. Maybe I should have killed this 1/2, but I'm fine. I'm fine with killing that 1/2. All right, face. That's not the best place. Face isn't always the place. Yeah, I'll take that. Do that damage. That doesn't really help, but whatever. Sure. All right, now we got a 7/7. You got to get through. What else? You have 8 mana. Okay, that sucks. That sucks for us. Eventually I could just play Krog for 9, and that will be good because it will just start really fucking with them. We're gonna play this. We could have played Muckmorpher instead, but I just think I'm gonna spend my mana that way. And that has to die. That has to die. I wish that I had a taunt to go along with Krog, but I don't have a taunt to go along with Krog. I cannot do that. Oh, that sucks. We're going to take a lot of damage. Yeah, all right. Yeah, go. You should go face with that. Yeah, yeah, totally. Okay. Triangulate could get us Eureka or Ancestor's Call. That would be 6 mana, which would give me 3 mana left over, but I gotta play this. So it doesn't really do anything. Alright, I can take 7 by doing this. Oh, that gives me... That'll give me 4 mana. I can play the taunts. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Do I want to take 7? Oh, we'll put that in there. And just do 2 damage to that thing. Play this for 3. Thunderbringer? Okay, the one Meadow Striker, but at least it's a 4/4 that puts another taunt on our board that is a taunt, and we'll play this. Yikes. Okay. Bad turn. Triangulate next turn for Ancestor's Call or Eureka and hope that one of those pulls out Krog. We could just play Krog. Well, that's not great. Okay. We might just... The problem is I don't really want to play Krog on its own, but we might have to play Krog on its own. Because if they have another Naturalize, they just get rid of Krog. But... Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to play Krog. That's a 9/9. We're taking, like, so much damage here. Yeah. Alright, I can kill this thing at least. That's an Ancestor's Call. So I don't have any more Ancestor's Calls in my deck. This has to die, I know that. Do I risk playing this? Because all of these are pretty good. Nope, I play Krog. I have to play Krog here. That's all I can do. And... They need to do 1 damage, and they win. Yeah. Tried my best with this one. They have to do 1... They need... Okay, yeah, alright, they win. We're just going to concede. They win. No need to play around with it. They win. That was a last-ditch effort. I probably needed to try to get Krog out earlier. Maybe even last turn. I should have gotten Krog out instead of messing around with the 2/3s. Because they had so many ways, but they would have killed my Krog, so it's like, we're 4-4. That's fine. I'm actually surprised I lost with this deck, because this is one of the best decks I have, but it is what it is. We'll play a little bit of the smoke. Should we? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take out those 8 drops, the new cards out of the smoke. They're not good. We're gonna take Amber Warden out. Amber Warden, no good. We're going to keep these 2 new cards because I like them. We're now going to look for Death Rattles that are big, cool Death Rattles. We're going to look for some big-ass Death Rattles here. We'll go to 7+. Okay, we only have Curse there. That's fine, but I don't love that one. Let's look for big-ass death rattles that do big things. I like this one. I like this one. If I could get this to work, I would, but... I mean, it's only going to trigger, so there's not... Sylvanas is kind of fun. Here's the thing. Actually, Spidak, Sylvanas isn't necessarily great for our deck because I'm trying to fill the board with a bunch of bullshit by playing Smokescreen. So I kind of don't want their minions. But Sylvanas is pretty cool. You're not wrong. But like Warden puts a thing on my board, right? Like Vanguard puts something on the board. Like Vanguard might be good there. Thunderbringer. I could put Thunderbringer in there. Thunderbringer's pretty good. That does pull things out of my deck. And I do have Elk. And I have a bunch of beasts. So Thunderbringer might go in there and then one other legendary. So that might work. Flesh Behemoth is... We don't really have undead, so that's not really worth it. What about, like... I could get rid of Nomelia. I do like Nomelia. See if there's a 7-drop I haven't thought of. Like a 6 maybe. Like a 6-drop. Like a good 6-drop could go in there. Karn. I could put Karn in there. Karn's not bad. I could put Karn and Thunderbringer. I like these. I do like that. Ooh, getting some health. The health doesn't sound bad. I don't hate that. I do like Stormcoil. Stormcoil's not bad either. I could get a rewind, random rewind. I don't really want that. Yeah. You know what? A couple 6-drops are pretty good in there. They are They do have Reborn, which doesn't work if you don't play them, so you can just play them on our own. But also Restore Health. That sounds good. All right. Let's play the smoke here. We'll see if they want it. I imagine they don't want the smoke, but some people do want the smoke. They're wrong, but some people do want it.
V07TRON versus the Lich King.
The Lich King. All right. We got our Trickster. We've got Door of Shadows, which can draw our... Well, Door of Shadows can either draw the other Door of Shadows, which is bad, or Smokescreen. But even if it draws the other Door of Shadows, it can still draw that. So we'll keep that. Yeah. We'll put those back in the deck. Okay. Nomelia is nice to have. Containment unit, I don't mind. Sometimes we'll play that on turn 7 just to play it, and it'll latch on. All right, we're gonna play this. We drew the other Door of Shadows, which means next turn we have to play this card to draw a Smokescreen, so that on turn 3 we can coin and play Trickster. Luckily, our opponent didn't do anything on that turn except 1 damage to us, which is fine. So we're going to play the other card. We got our Smokescreen. This is what we wanted. Now, next turn, we can coin, play Trickster, play Smokescreen, and do a bunch of bullshit. And then we will have 10 cards in our hand. So the following turn, we hope that we don't burn Anka the Buried. But that's okay. All right. Come on, Smokescreen. Cool shit. Okay, Meadow Striker, totally fine. Put that in the bottom of our deck. Give us a little card. Healing the 3, no problem. Trickster, we didn't want there. Morg, 8 armor, that's fine. An 8/8 with Rush, excellent. So that did a lot of stuff, but it didn't make a board, which sucks. I would have liked to have had a board. next turn we're just gonna play the Trickster just to play it. And then we'll just have a 2/2 on the board because we only want to burn one card, which is fine. But we are going to do 10 damage to their face, which sounds pretty good. Doing 10 damage on turn 4 is pretty good. We did also heal up and get 8 armor, so I'm not mad. I wish we hadn't pulled this Trickster. I wish we had pulled another Death Rattle. We have so many Death Rattles in our deck. The one Anka will be bad to burn. Defender, totally fine to burn. Totally okay with burning that. We're gonna play this even though it doesn't do anything. And then we're gonna hit them for 10. They still have an 8/6 they have to deal with. We have no card to play next turn, so we're hoping that we pull Anka. Anka would be the best card to pull. Traveler would be okay. Trickster would be all right. Otherwise, we're going to burn a card next turn. There is a case to be made for that instead of Defender, we get a 3-cost taunt that heals you. So we have something cheap in our deck. Okay, that's going to die, but we can kill that. I'm glad we're not going to burn this, but we are burning a card next turn, which I don't love. I don't love that we didn't get to do anything this turn, but next turn we can play Defender, or we can play Nomalia if they have a bunch of bullshit going on. So we do have something to play next turn. Yeah, we're going to play Nomalia then. Because fuck you. These things need to die. Fuck you. What did we burn? We burned Owl. That's okay. And then we'll hit in the face. Thank you, Nomalia. You were the perfect counter to that bullshit. They stole health from us. We'll never get that 2 health back. Next turn, we can play Containment Unit. We can play Defender. We've got these fucking things. My opponent keeps playing this fucking bullshit. I would love to get a Temporary Traveler. Temporary Traveler is kind of fun, but not really. I'm going to play this because when they kill it, I get another one. That's our best option there. And we'll play Morgue, Fiend, yeah. I really would like to get Anka because then we can start reducing our hands and then we can play the other Smokescreen, but I have no way of getting Anka out of the deck. Jesus Christ. That's a lot. That's a lot of a board. And now they have a lot of mana. My opponent has so much goddamn... What the fuck? That's what they pulled out? And they gave it Divine Shield and Wind Fury? Jesus. Our opponent is doing a better job than us of scamming. Because this is fucking some bullshit here. The 4-cost minion they played discovered a giant that they gave Divine Shield and Wind Fury that costs less if you spend a bunch of corpses, and they played this. I mean, bravo. We're conceding. Bravo. Our opponent really fucking got us good there. Jesus. Jesus Christ. They scammed the shit out of us. That's fucking wild. Oh, I pressed enter there. I didn't mean to press enter. I've been keeping score in the chat window. I don't know why that's where I keep score, but that's where I'm keeping score. 4 wins, 5 losses. Damn, we got fucking outplayed there. Now, that wasn't the best Smokescreen, even though we had we got it. That just wasn't. That could have been rad, and it just unfortunately was not as rad as I would have liked it to have been. It's alright, it happens.
B07 TRON versus Thrall.
Thrall, okay.
All systems are go.
All systems are go. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's, okay. We got Smokescreen. So now we want Trickster. We will settle for Anka. But we do have a Smokescreen. Now we just need, we'll play Temporal Travel. We'll play this next turn. We already have a Smokescreen, but we'll play that so we have something to play. To get a card out of our deck. We would love to have Trickster. The other Trickster, we got this Trickster. I would like the other one. I did only say Trickster. I should have said Swift Scale Trickster. So I did goof. Because look, we drew both Tricksters. We can play this next turn. This will give us the other Smokescreen. This is a dead draw. Okay. All right. I think I just want to kill this thing. So we'll just do that. Now my hope is that we top deck Anka. Turn all these into cheaper things, but okay, got a Static Shock, all right. Okay. All right. This is dead. This is dead in the water. We might as well just thin out our deck and thin out our hand. Now our hand is a little lighter. Our deck is a little smaller. Maybe we can top deck Trickster. Maybe we can top deck Anka. But worst come to worst, we have a card in our hand that we can actually play next turn. This doesn't draw anything. That's not great. Okay, so you're going to try to damage it, and instead of damaging it, you just get a 5/5. Okay. 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 I believe this is probably what this deck is supposed to do. Is a deck built around Stormbrook and some other stuff. I don't know why this is in Wild. This, so far anyway, seems very standard, but whatever. They get a copy. This is, of all the fucking things, after your opponent plays a minion, you get a 1/1 copy of it. That's just, like, devastating for us, for that to draw that. We do get to heal a little bit, so that's nice. But now we're going to take a bunch of damage. I have no way to kill this right now, unless we top deck Trickster, I play Trickster, and then we pull an Elk. Never mind, they have Evolve. This is an Evolve deck? This is unbelievably greedy. Our opponent is playing an awesome greedy deck. I really do genuinely like this. We just fucking lose, but we might as well see if they want to try to... If we survive this turn, which we shouldn't survive this turn. If we do survive this turn, I just want to play Smokescreen for 8 mana, which is never how I want to play. But, yeah. Yeah, we don't... They just... Yeah. They just have lethal. I was hoping... Yeah. I was hoping they might want to stunt on us, but they had lethal on board. But I was hoping they would give me another turn so I could try to get fancy on them. But Jesus Christ, yeah. If we had top deck Trickster there, we might have been able to do something, but we were going to lose. The fact that they had that deck is an Evolved deck, that's just a greedy fucking deck. Now I know what's Wild. Boy, okay. I mean, I guess I'm going to go... I guess I'll show you Bat Boar. Bat Boar is a deck where I'm not playing against my opponent. I'm playing against my own deck with Bat Boar, but I'll show it to you because it's kind of fun to see the weapon, because there aren't a lot of decks where you can get that weapon to work consistently. So it's kind of fucking rad. There's like a couple versions that work in Hunter, because Hunter has a lot of ways to bring back beasts that have already died and to make copies of beasts, but this is like the most consistent. We'll keep Living Flame because that gives us a fire spell. We'll keep Rock Bottom because that way with turn 1, We'll get rid of the other rock bottom. Defile doesn't help us. It may help stall and kill our opponent's stuff, but they're named Lore Walker Cho. I hope they play Lore Walker Cho. That would be very funny if that's in every one of their decks. Bat Mask, great. Next turn we get Bat Mask. Bat Mask again. I don't have anything that tutors Bat Mask out of our deck. So if we can find it, we have to get it. It was on the bottom of our deck, which fucking sucks. The other fracking being on the bottom is a bummer. We can fracking to frack, or we can get the other rock bottom for the fracking. We'll take it. Reform Ladder being on the bottom is fine. All right, we got our Bat Mask. This gets us, so we have 1 of 4 cards we need. This gets us one of the other 2 cards we need. This can kill this to guarantee that we get something that we need and heal up. We can obviously use our hero power. Our opponent so far hasn't really done much. Once I find out what this spell is, then that will change how I feel. All right, great. Let's play that. We got a boar. We got another boar. We now have half of our combo, and we can get another one of our combos if our opponent plays a minion. Otherwise, we can just kill it to get something we need. We still need Blood Bloom. We do not have Blood Bloom. Our opponent does not seem to want to kill our minion, so Blood Bloom, no. All right, so we are going to kill our own minion to get that and to draw. Okay. I was hoping the shadow spell we drew was Blood Bloom because it is a shadow spell. This is rough. All right. Are you going to swing? You're not going to swing. Okay. Dark Bomb. Dark Bomb will give us a shadow spell. Be what I want. Not what I wanted. We have thinned out the deck as far as that goes. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We can draw this, and then we only have 1 mana. So we'd have to play our Plague of Flames or play one of our boars, which I don't want to play one of my boars. We'll just get rid of Defile. Damn. I would like to top deck a Blood Bloom or Curse of Catacombs. What are you? Okay, that's not great, but that's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. We can kill that. We have ways of killing that. Unless they have reincarnation. If that's reincarnation, we're in trouble. But otherwise, I can kill that next turn if I have to. If we don't get what we need. That is reincarnate, not reincarnation. That is reincarnate. That makes things tougher. That's not what we wanted. This is not what I wanted at all. All right. I am going to have to kill. I'm going to have to use my Plague of Flame because this cannot survive. This cannot exist. So I have to play. We'll play this because I don't want to give up my boar. We will heal up. We will get rid of that 416. Get out of here. And then we will take more damage. And we got Blood Bloom. Okay. If we now need to find our other Plague of Flames, which really sucks. We have to find our other Plague of Flames. If we top deck our other Plague of Flames, we can win. If we get fracking or there. Okay, we got fracking. Can we find? We didn't find what we needed. We found the other fracking though. All right. Give me what I want. Man, because we need... How much mana do we need? We 4, 5, 6 mana. We need 6 mana. We're going to play this next turn. There's no point in playing that now. There's no point in... We can play this. Heal ourselves. Let's just play it. Free admission doesn't do anything. Great. Okay. So next turn. We can win next turn, maybe. You're like drawing cards, yeah. We're drawing cards to draw cards. Okay. Our opponent, at least it seems like our opponent doesn't have whatever they're trying to do. It seems like they don't have what they're looking for. Which is great for us because, okay, Plague of Flames, great. We did it. We win. We play Elwyn Boar. We play Blood Bloom. We play Bat Mask. We want to heal up, so we're going to be kind of scummy and kill one of those because we have the mana for it. Then we play Plague of Flames to kill the other 6 Elwyn Boars, giving us a 15-3, which then means our opponent has 0 mana, and next turn they get 1 mana. And if you're saying, Pat, what if they have something to get rid of your weapon? Well, we have 1 more boar left and a way to kill that boar so we can get another weapon. And they concede because they don't have a way to stop me. The fact that I couldn't find Blood Bloom and then had to use Plague of Flames because they used Reincarnate. If they left that 4-4 as a 4-4, we could have killed it. We didn't have to use Reincarnate. I should not have won that game. I only won that game because my opponent was deeply searching for something in the deck. That's Bat Boar. Again, that is a deck where you are not necessarily playing against your opponent. You are just playing against your own deck. It is, Spydak, you are right. It is the scummiest of all scum decks. There are very few decks that feel worse than that deck. Even the Witch deck, where you played a 5-cost minion that made it so you could fill your board with 8 8s for free, you still had to wait for your opponent's next turn. That deck, if you get all the cards you need and you can survive to turn 6 or turn 5 with a coin, you just win. You just win. The only way to beat that deck is to disrupt your opponent, disrupt me so I can't play those cards, or rush me down so I don't have enough health to spend 8 health to fill my board with 1/1s. Or the most common, the reason why that Bat Boar loses the most, because you don't have the, you just can't pull your cards out in time. We're going to play Soridami one more time because I think this deck is fun, and I enjoy it. It is a scam deck, but I think this one is more fair than other scam decks. Also, I refuse to play Bat Boar more than once. If you would like the code to any of these, you can ask for them, and then once this game is over, I will go in and copy the code and place that into chat for any of these decks. You can just ask for them at any point, but I can't do that while I'm playing the game, so it'll have to be after this. Actually, I could. Ooh, this in the hand is great. Let's keep 1 card in our hand that we can play turn 1, because we do need to play 8 of them, but we'll get rid of the rest, except for obviously for Merzond, and we are looking for scale replicas. We did not get either scale replica or either card to draw a scale replica or get a copy of it. We do need to draw 2 5-cost minions, so... And our opponent is immediately just hitting us for damage, which is fine. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. This can take care of that easy. We'll play this. We'll probably play Pedal Peddler because it looks scary to opponents. But if I top deck a 2-cost spell... Nope, I didn't. Okay. We'll just play that and play that. All right. We have plenty of dragons for Timewinder. We can do the alternate win condition, which is just we build a big board and then do a bunch of damage. I don't think that's necessarily going to work, but we can try that alternate win condition. Scale Replica. Beautiful. We're going to play Scale Replica. We are going to get... Okay, we got this. So then next turn, we can coin Soradami to at least make this cost less, even if we don't have Timewinder. But then we have the next turn to get Timewinder. But even if we have to wait, we'll do that. We'll play it anyway, because this cheap is great. Also, there is the slightest chance that our opponent might just concede when they see Soradami, Soradormi, not Soradami, Soradormi. When they see Soradormi come down, they might just concede. But we're just going to hit our opponent in the face a lot, because we can heal easier than they can possibly. Druid does have some healing, but... okay, so we're going to coin this. We could have played Dustbreaker to just clear the board and lose 1 minion, but that's okay. We're going to play this. We really need Zarimi, but I will take just this being cheap, and that's okay. And then we're going face, and you have to deal with that. Deal with my board. We can always do this next turn if we need to. All right. They got some taunts. I don't love that, but that's okay. All right. So next turn, theoretically, next turn, we could top deck Zarimi and get it discounted, but that's okay. It's all right. We could hit these here and do some damage that way. That might be good. We can just... Yeah, let's just make a wide-ass board. Let's make a wide board and make you deal with it. We'll take that. I should have done this so I could guarantee pirates. Or dragons, I should say. We'll get a taunt dragon. That sounds fun. Next turn, these are all going to be incredibly cheap. We'll just do that. And we'll do that. Okay. So, next turn. This is going to be cheap. These are going to be cheap. Timewinder, unfortunately. We didn't get it. Maybe we top deck it. If we top deck it, then we can win. But I don't think we're going to top deck it. Okay, got some rush there. All right. Okay. They can kind of clear our board up a bit. It's okay. All right. I mean, we got a 1 in 19 chance to top deck the card we need. And we have a couple ways of getting it. Okay, yeah, they're just going to go for the clear method. Okay, all right. They heal up a bunch because I never killed the 0-2. Because I wasn't interested in it. Oh, that happened. That's right. This happens first, and then you draw. Okay. So I could just play this and hope they don't have a way to kill it. I can like clean up the board, do that. I can really clean up the board with these. I could play this. Yeah, I could do that. Just clear their board. I'm going to do that. Clear their board. Go a taunt. All right. Do I recommend this? No, I don't. I don't recommend that you play this without Zarimi, but we're doing it anyway because it's funny to do this. They have to kill my 8/8, and if they spend all their mana killing my 8/8, then I have all of this to go face to them anyway. Did I want to go this route? Not really. Am I happy? Would I be psyched to win with Murazond without taking an extra turn, damn right I'd be psyched about that. That would be a phenomenal victory. For me, anyway. I would count that as a fucking winner. All right, they got a taunt? Okay. They got 2 taunts. We have enough health to get through it. What else you got? Do you got something else? Oh, man. Okay. All right. We... 1, 2... We don't... Oh, we do? We do have enough because of this. Oh, that sucks for them. We'll do that. And we'll do that. And we'll do this. We do have enough because, yeah, we can do... Oh, we didn't have another dragon in our hand. Fuck, I fucked up. This only works if you have another dragon. We don't have another dragon. Shit. I goofed it, everybody. Oh, I fucking beefed it. Damn. I really did beef it. Gotta get rid of that. We'll, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Ah, if we had top decked a dragon, we would have won. We top decked a weapon instead of the dragon. I really fucked that up. And we should have healed this too instead of our face. Okay, if we lose this one, it's on me. I fucked this up. Our opponent should be able to do 3 damage to a minion. All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're gonna lose. I fucked that up. I fucked that up bad. Now, we still would have lost if I had healed this for 2. This has rush, so we can get through this, and then they still need to get 3 damage here. They might not have it. They might not have this. Okay. Do you have... No, you had 1 damage. Oh, they didn't let me do it. That's why you want to play Zarimi. Because they didn't let me do it. I had infinite attack I could hit them with. I didn't even scam them this time. I just played Dragon Priest. Which, depending on who you talk to, is a scam. But all I did was play Dragon Priest. Well, we're 6-6 for the night. That sounds pretty good. If you would like a code for any of these, you can put it in chat, or you can message me on Mastodon or Blue Sky or Twitter at @PatBear. You know my name, PATBAAR. With a request for one of the decks, and I will send you the code. As we kind of like cool down here. I was 6-6. That feels pretty good. I'll take 6-6. I can't believe that most of my losses came from the deck that's good. We are going to raid though, friends. That is how we're going to end things around here. So we are going to end tonight's stream with a raid. We're going to go hang out with some people who are doing cool stuff. And that's Desert Bus. Desert Bus for Hope is happening right now. It continues. It persists. So please join me in going over there. If you don't have the money to donate to help out Child's Play, that's fine. You being there. Them having viewers increases its push and makes it things that gets recommended to other people. So hanging out and enjoying it. Also, there being people in chat talking and hanging out helps them with their morale. I almost said morally, I meant morale. So feel free to go hang out with Desert Bus for Hope. They're rad. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. On Thursday, I'm going to finish that Lego Game Boy. It rules. Anyway, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.